Wow, 50 years of Walt Disney World. Hard to believe it's only been that long. It's so recent, yet it feels like it's always been there. If you're anything like me, Disney World has always been an integral part of your life, formative in your youth, and continuing to inspire you as an adult. Millions of people have been wowed and amazed by everything they've experienced. Whether it be their first time or their 100th, there's always something new to experience and enjoy. And it all started 50 years ago today, October 1st, 1971. Here is everything that happened in that first year. Allow us to journey back in time to 1971. NPR has begun broadcasting to the public. The 26 amendments been ratified by Congress. Stanley Kubrick's released his masterpiece. Everyone was jamming to the Osmonds, apparently. And on October 1st, the Walt Disney World Resort opened to the public in Central Florida. The resort featured one park, the iconic Magic Kingdom. A replica of the Disneyland original, the park featured many staple Disney attractions, including It's a Small World, the Jungle Cruise, the Haunted Mansion, and new attractions like the Country Bear Jamboree and the Hall of Presidents. Alongside the Magic Kingdom were two resorts, Disney's Contemporary Resort and Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. The Polynesian is themed to Pacific Island cultures, featuring a large tropical waterfall in the lobby. It contained 2 restaurants and a musical dinner show. And on that note, go watch Trickster Bell's video on the Tiki Room. She does a great job dissecting how it became a thing. The Contemporary is exactly what it sounds like. It's a modern-for-the-time hotel with modern-for-the-time designs. It's within walking distance from the Magic Kingdom and can even be seen from Tomorrowland. Both hotels are connected to the Magic Kingdom by the Walt Disney World monorail, the largest of all of the Disney monorails. There was also the Palm and Magnolia golf courses, but golf sucks, so we're not going to talk about that. 10,000 people showed up on opening day, which sounds like a lot, but it was well below projected numbers. As it turns out, potential park-goers stayed away because they were expecting crazy crowds. Critics called foul, saying that Disney had finally failed. This is what we in the biz call a poorly aged thing. Some attractions hadn't been quite ready for opening day, and would open in the following weeks. Which is why, on October 2nd, the Admiral Joe Fowler Riverboat would open in Liberty Square. This riverboat circled the rivers of America, seeing sights in Liberty Square, Frontierland, and Tom Sawyer Island. It was named after Joe Fowler, a naval officer and the head of construction of both Disneyland and Walt Disney World. When the Richard F. Irvine boat, later renamed the Liberty Belle, was introduced in 1980, the boat was removed, and one of the Magic Kingdom ferries was renamed the Joe Fowler in its honor. On October 3rd, Peter Pan's flight opened in Fantasyland. This dark ride was based on the 1953 Disney film, Flying from London to Neverland with Peter and the Darlings. To this day, it's one of the more popular attractions in the park. It might be more known today for its cripplingly long wait times than for what's in the actual ride. And this isn't a new phenomenon either. It was a thing when I was a kid, back in the Stone Ages. On October 10th, the Walt Disney World Stoleport began to take commercial flights. Yes, at one point there was an airport on Disney property, cutting out the middleman and taking you right to your destination. If you're wondering why you never knew this was a thing, it's because it was just a short takeoff and landing strip, and it was closed by the 80s. Such is life. On October 14th, the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea submarine voyage opened in Fantasyland. Inspired by the Disneyland original, this underwater dark ride took us on an incredible adventure under the sea, seeing the ruins of Atlantis, the polar ice caps, and battling a giant squid. It also gave you a healthy vehicle to live out your fantasies of being kidnapped by a misanthropic submarine captain with crippling depression. The attraction closed in 1994. The land is currently home to New Fantasyland. On October 23rd through the 25th, a 3-day opening ceremony took place. Thousands of special guests were invited to the ceremony. There was music, speeches, a 1,500 voice choir, a 1,076-member marching band, and lots of balloons. It had all of the pageantry that you'd expect from Disney. On October 25th, the electrical water pageant began performing on the Seven Seas Lagoon across from the Magic Kingdom. A parade of floats with twinkling lights floated across the lagoon, soundtracked to popular Disney tunes. And while the show has gone through a few changes over the years, the core of it has remained very much the same. On October 29th, NBC aired the grand opening of Walt Disney World, an hour-and-a-half musical special commemorating... oh, you know. The special featured appearances from the likes of Jonathan Winters, Buddy Hackett, and Bob Hope, with musical performances from Glenn Campbell and Julie Andrews. There were also previews of some of the new attractions in the park, like the Mickey Mouse Revue, the Hall of Presidents, and the Country Bear Jamboree. They made sure to highlight these new attractions to let the public know that this wasn't just another Disneyland. On November 19th, Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground opened. This resort is themed to a rustic forest, where you can actually go camping on Disney property. It's kind of like real camping, but without having to worry about being too far from civilization. It was accessible from the Magic Kingdom by a boat. It's no monorail, but it'll still get you where you need to be. On November 25th, America the Beautiful premiered in Tomorrowland. This was the first Circle Vision film ever produced by Disney, originally made for the 1958 World's Fair and debuting in Disneyland in 1960. It would play in Tomorrowland for 3 years. Yeah, even back then, Tomorrowland attractions didn't last. The show building is currently home to the Monsters, Inc. laugh floor. On December 18th, the first candlelight processional took place for 2 nights. This, of course, became tradition and a staple of the holidays at Walt Disney World. It took place at the Magic Kingdom until 1994, where it was moved to Epcot, where it continues to play to this day. Then, on December 20th, Roy O. Disney passed away. He had been the one to spearhead Walt Disney World after Walt's sudden passing, coming out of retirement to get the project done. And he lived long enough to see it to completion. At the opening ceremony, he said the following: "Walt Disney World is a tribute to the philosophy and life of Walter Elias Disney, and to the talents, the dedication, and the loyalty of the entire Disney organization that made Walt Disney's dreams come true. May Walt Disney World
bring joy and inspiration and new knowledge to all who come to this happy place. A magic kingdom where the young at heart of all ages can laugh and play and learn together."
Following his death, a train on the Walt Disney World Railroad would be renamed in his honor. It's safe to say that without Roy, we might not have gotten to Disney World. Next time you're at the Magic Kingdom, take a moment to pause at the statue of him and Minnie, and remember that he's the guy that made all of this possible. On December 24th, Flight to the Moon opened in Tomorrowland. A replica of the Disneyland attraction, it was a rocket trip to the moon that became quickly outdated. Man had long since been to the moon, so it wasn't exciting anymore. The attraction closed in 1975. In the following years, the shell building would become home to Mission to Mars, Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter, Stitch's Great Escape, and now, nothing. What do you guys want to see there next? My choice is bringing back Alien Encounter with Xenomorphs. I hesitated to include every single shop and restaurant that opened at the Magic Kingdom, because listing all of those opening dates would get super tedious and repetitive after a while. Believe me, I am sparing you by holding back that information. I will, however, make an exception for this. On February 1st, 1972, Columbia Harbor House opened in Liberty Square, just down the path from Fantasyland. This restaurant was a nautical theme, being an old fishing house in New England. And it is the best place to eat at the Magic Kingdom. Debate me in the comments. Back in Anaheim, on March 4th, the Country Bear Jamboree opened in the newly christened Bear Country. This was an exact replica of the Magic Kingdom original, bringing all the foot-stomping fun to the other side of the country. This was the first time we would see an attraction open that debuted at a different park. Disneyland was no longer the originator. Now, it would start taking cues from Disney World. On June 6th, If You Had Wings opened in Tomorrowland. Sponsored by Eastern Airlines, the ride was a trip around the world, seeing many different cultures along the way. No, it's not redundant. It's completely different from It's a Small World. This one had little dioramas with screens. like River of Time or Grand Fiesta Tour, but worse. The show building it sat in is currently home to Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. From June 9th through June 12th, the summer season began in earnest with the first Disney World Grad Night celebrations. They were held from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. and featured dancing, music, and special entertainment throughout the park. This became tradition, and they've been a nuisance ever since. Please be nice to cast members, they put up with too much. In December, work began on a brand new attraction in Tomorrowland. It would take another 3 years to open, but this ride would be a huge status quo change, one that helped usher in a new age for Disney entertainment. That ride? Space Mountain. More things would open in the coming months. The Walt Disney Story, Tom Sawyer Island, a Rush version of Pirates of the Caribbean. But with that, we've come full circle. Walt Disney World has been open for 1 year. And in that 1 year, nearly 11 million people have come to visit. Its first year blew past any previous expectations. It was clear that this was going to be the start of something really special. Something that might even surpass the Disneyland original. The resort continued to grow in the following decades, with more parks, more attractions, more entertainment, more shopping, more hotels, and more ways to experience the magic. Walt Disney World is a deeply beloved place, invoking wonder, nostalgia, comfort, and excitement to anyone who visits, to the point where even 50 years later, it still rings true. So happy 50th anniversary, Walt Disney World. Here's to 50 more. And that concludes the video. Now I'll pass the question on to you. What's been your favorite moment in Disney World history? What are your favorite memories you've made there? If you've never been, what do you want to experience? Whatever your thoughts, let me know down in the comments. If you'd like to support the show, please consider hitting up my Patreon or Ko-fi page. If not, then be sure to like and subscribe to see more of my upcoming videos. But that's all the time I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.